I'm taking a cruise on the iconic Aegean Sea to learn about the Minoan Civilization. This cruise is dedicated to the Greek mythology to learn about the amazing, thriving civilization named after King Minoan. Welcome to GlobeTrotter. I'm Jon Haggins. I'm here for a great holiday on the Aegean Sea, and this is a Greek cultural experience because we're going to all the wonderful islands. This is the Celestyal Cruises on Olympia, and this is where you can come. It's a medium-sized ship. You feel very personalized because everybody here is like your friend. This is where you want to come. And you know what I also love? They have bathtubs in the suites. That's unusual for a cruise. The suites are very large. The accommodations are just perfect. I can't wait to go to all these wonderful Greek islands, especially for this incredible Greek heritage.
My name is Captain Yannis Foundoukas, and I am the captain of Celestyal Olympia. I'm captain the last 16 years, and this itinerary we're doing now is the most popular and favorite itinerary for our guests. Our passengers are international. We have Japanese, Chinese, Turkish, Greeks, Americans, many Americans, Europeans. At this time we are about 26 nationalities. I've been captain for 16 years. I'm Greek, but I'm born in Istanbul, and since 9 years old I live in Athens. A traditional classic cruise ship built in 1981. It's a medium size. It's the size that I love, because with a capacity of 1,700 passengers, you have the chance to talk with the passengers.
I have a nice surprise for you. I have a waiter named Ronnie.
Maybe I didn't treat you as good as I should have. Maybe I didn't love you quite as often as I could have. Little things I should have said and done, I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I've never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
As a hotel manager, I'm responsible for all the operation, cabins, housekeeping, restaurant, bars. On the operation we have now, the 3 and 4 day cruise, because the ports, the time of arrival and leaving from the ports is also limited. We visit 2 ports almost per day. Actually, our project, we like to give the Greek authentic on the cruise. We used to have many menus regarding the Greek food, but we try to adjust our menus with the other nationality, also to fit with the other nationality. With some adjustment, we can make it, we have a Greek taste, but in the way that the American eat meat, or we have Indian cuisine for our Indian passenger. We try to assist everyone. We are not a very, very big ship. The maximum capacity of our ship is 1,600 people. Actually, we work with 1,400, 1,500. It's more easy, people, they meet each other. Even the waiters and the cabin stewards, they have more contact with the guests. And when the ship leaves, I think many people, they meet new friends, and more or less, even if the cruise is 4 days or 3 days, on board we have 22, 24 nationality of crew.
stared at our glow, and we'll never part. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me dear, tell me you are mine. I'll be yours through all the years, till the end of time. Siempre que te pregunto, cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizás, quizás, quizás.
The entertainment we have on board for the 3 days, we give them every night one different show. We have also a spa on board, our salon. We have 6 massage rooms.
Chasing wild ass. Oh, it's not what you're thinking. It's all about my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and recipes to whet your appetite and allow you to dream and discover and rediscover these faraway destinations. The title came about while we were in Koch Wild Ass Sanctuary chasing jackasses in Gujarat, India. Chasing wild ass is food for the soul. It's adventure, it's history, it's culture, it's culinary, and it's a lifestyle. Chasing wild ass will entertain you and massage your soul. It's a celebration of life. You have to live every moment as if it's your last. My world is your world, so remember, get up, get out, and travel!
My name is Jamile Blanco Wilson. So I came here from the last season, and I start to speak about my Belinda Caravos. Belinda Caravos is my boss, and she was in Cuba the last season, last year. So she make it some kind of casting, great casting. With everybody know about Cuba. In Cuba, everybody can dance, everybody can sing. So it was amazing casting. So my first song was At Last. Very first song for her. So this is my song. This is okay. So in this time, Belinda picked of me for this ship, on this ship, and she make my dream reality. It's like that in English? I think so, yeah. So I start to make all these shows, Greek shows, and shows about Hercules, about their mythology, and other shows. But the most beautiful shows is Latin show. Oh my God, I'm Cuban, so it's amazing. Unfortunately, I can speak Portuguese. My language is Spanish and, of course, in English here. So it was amazing. It's amazing. I love this job too much. I have a lot experiences. I have a lot of dreams for this. I can tell the last season, many people come here, and every time when I finish my show, they ask me, wait a minute, excuse me, you are from Broadway? No way! Oh, this is my dream, Broadway. I can sing, I can dance, of course, because I love dance. No simple dance, I can dance everything, but I have passion for all this move, pop, this is about the streets. All this move about the streets is amazing. I love dance too much.
This itinerary includes some Greek islands and Turkey. We start from Piraeus, we go to Mykonos, Kusadasi, Turkey, Patmos Island, the Holy Island, Rhodes, the Island of Knights.
You know, Mykonos is one of the places that I've wanted to come since the 1960s. It's an extraordinary vacation destination here in Greece. It's an island that's so very special. It's where the rich and famous come, and it's a playground for the rich and famous. I guess that's the best way to describe it. You will see these wonderful windmills and these beautiful houses, and the little Venice here in Mykonos is just extraordinary. You're going to love it.
My name is Irene, and I'm an official tour guide. I am authorized to give tours all over Europe. Tell you now about the windmills of Mykonos, the famous windmills. The especially windy weather on the Cyclades Islands favored the operation of windmills for grinding cereals. In the early 20th century on Mykonos, there were about 28 windmills in operation, a large number for such a small place. Why? Because the windmills supplied with flour the local bakeries which baked large quantities of bread and rusk and sold them to the passing by commercial ships which dropped anchor here for this reason, because in those days Mykonos was found at the crossroads of sea routes between east and west, north and south. When I say raska, I mean raised bread. I repeat, raised bread, baked twice in the oven to become dry and last for a long time. Let me give you some more information about the windmills. As you see, the windmills in Mykonos have a round shape, a cylindrical shape form with a conical roof. The building material is stone, local stone. Each windmill is about 9 meters tall, about 30 feet tall, and has 3 floors. The ground floor was for the gathering and weighing of cereals, of grain, of wheat and barley actually, produced, cultivated either on the island or imported from other places, from Europe as well, for example from Romania and Russia, which in those days were considered the bread baskets of Europe, okay? So the ground floor was for the gathering and weighing of grain. The upper floors were for the grinding. The conical roof consists of long wooden beams covered with bulrushes, dry bulrushes. Each windmill has 4 openings. The door on the ground floor, 2 small windows on the upper floors, and another opening on the ground floor, which was the hole for the cats which hunted the mice and also the birds which wanted to build their nests on the straw roof. The windmills in the past were built in groups of 4 to 10 because in this way large quantities of grain could be ground, yes. They stopped running till the mid-20th century when manual labor was replaced by mechanism. If I say mechanism, you understand it's correct, yes? Since then they have become the most popular of all the sites of Mykonos, and they have been photographed by thousands of tourists all over the world. The Little Venice, so called because the houses in this area, in this residential area, are built the one next to the other at the edge of the water, similar to the houses in the famous canal city in Italy. The houses in the Little Venice, the ones that we see there opposite, belonged originally to wealthy sea captains who were also pirates. That's why in the old days, on the ground floor of the houses, there was a small door that led into a storeroom in which the booty from piracy was kept. The area between the windmills and the Little Venice, I mean the place down there, the square with the restaurant, is the so-called Alefkandra. This place was used by the housewives of the town till the mid-20th century in order to wash and bleach their clothes.
What a spectacular, colorful sunset in Mykonos. You know, Mykonos is the island of love. We're off to Santorini Island, where the town sits high on the mountain tops. Greece also has many luxurious ferries to escort everyone from one island to another. The Santorini buildings are refreshingly white. They're accented with turquoise dome roofs. Greek Orthodox is the national religion, and there are a number of churches throughout the island. Santorini boasts the most magical and beautiful white stone structures that are crusted along the side of the mountain. There are many shops on the island where you can purchase local products. And of course, the restaurants where you can dine on the best Greek cuisine. There are a number of restaurants and bars from where you can watch the most scintillating sunset. We're heading to Crete to visit Heraklion. A large 16th century fort stands at the end of the town. Crete is the largest Greek island, and it's a real bustling metropolis. The famous walls of Heraklion still remind us of its past. Heraklion is the largest urban center in Crete, the capital of the region and the economic center of the island. The first European civilization, the Minoan Civilization, flourished on this land 5,000 years ago. Seafood is a specialty of the island. You know, florals are scattered throughout the island. Knossos is the ancient Minoan palace. The Palace of Knossos is located in north-central Crete. Knossos was the first and the oldest Neolithic site in Crete, and the first indication of human activity on the island. Knossos is the largest bronze archaeological site on Crete and is considered Europe's oldest city. The name Knossos survives from the ancient Greek references to the major city of Crete. The identification of Knossos with the Bronze Age site is supported by tradition and by the Roman coins that were scattered over the fields surrounding the pre-excavation site. The site was discovered in 1878 by Minos Civilization. The excavations of Knossos began in the year 1900 by the English archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans and his team, of course, and they continued for 35 years. The palace was excavated and partially restored under the direction of Arthur Evans in the earliest years of the 20th century. Its size far exceeds original expectations. An approximate graphic view of some aspects of Cretan life in the Bronze Age is provided by the restoration of the palace indoors and outdoor murals. The Palace of Knossos was undoubtedly the ceremonial and political center of the Minoan civilization and culture. It appears as a maze of workrooms, living spaces, and storerooms close to the central square. The palace was abandoned at some unknown time at the end of the late Bronze Age.
My name is Susanne Vasilakis. I'm the guide here in Patmos, and everybody in Patmos calls me Susie. You can hear on my accent I'm not Greek, I'm from Germany. My husband is a Greek part in my family. He is from Patmos. We met each other 36 years ago on a cruise ship, and now we live here on this wonderful island. We are 34 years married, and we have one daughter, she's called Sophia, and 20 years old. And now I will show you the wonderful island Patmos. Here in front of us, all this in front, that's all Patmos. Patmos has 34 square kilometers, but the coastline is more as 68 kilometers. That means we have a lot of caps and bays around the island. You can see it from here. So also here on Patmos, we have wonderful beaches for the people, they spend the summer holiday here. About our towns, our main towns, we have 3 main towns here in Patmos. The biggest town is the port town Skala. In Skala we have all kinds of shops, all the facilities are there. The bank, the post, the pharmacy, the most of the souvenir shops, the Greek cafeneons, and the most of the restaurants. In Skala we have about 1,600 inhabitants. Exactly in front of us, between the hills, the few houses we can see, this is the smallest town, Kambos. In Kambos we have about 600 inhabitants, and we are now here standing in the capital town in Kora with about 800 inhabitants. So in all Patmos we have about 3,000 inhabitants. The main source of income in Patmos is tourism. Now about the islands around us. To the left side we have the big island Ikaria. Maybe you know about Icarus. He came too close to the sun and he falls down in the sea. The island Ikaria. Behind Kambos, the high mountain that we see, is the island Samos. And to the right side, sometimes we can also see the mainland from Turkey. Patmos is an island very close to the mainland from Turkey, but Patmos is a Greek island. Okay, now we are going up to the monastery of St. John that is built in the year 1088. In the Catholic Church, Easter this year we celebrate in the end of March. In the Orthodox Church, we celebrate Easter a few days ago on the 1st of May. And something special that here in Patmos, Patmos is declared as a holy island. So of course also Orthodox Easter is something special here on the island. And we have normally many guests. They are coming to Patmos to spend the holy island here. On the Holy Week, on Thursday, we celebrate here on the island the foot wash, the Last Supper, where Jesus washed the feet from the apostles. So there is a place here in Chora decorated with a tribune, with a lot of flowers and with palms. And then the abbot from the monastery, he symbolized Jesus. And he has 12 monks with him, the 12 apostles. And then they speak about the Last Supper, and on the end, Jesus washed the feet from the apostles. So this celebration we have here in Patmos. That's something special for the people here. And this is, of course, the reason that we have normally many guests here on the island for Orthodox Easter. We don't celebrate Easter always together. Normally, after 4 years, Catholic Easter and Orthodox Easter are going together. The reason why we don't celebrate it together, we count with different calendars. We are in the Orthodox Church, we still count with a Julian calendar, and this is a separate from 13 days, a different. And this is that we are the longest distance between Catholic and Orthodox Easter can be 6 weeks. In all Greece, about 98% from all the Greek people, they are Greek Orthodox. In Patmos, I would say 100% from the Greek people here in Patmos are Greek Orthodox. In Patmos we have no other chapels and churches, no monasteries, only Greek Orthodox. Between Scala and Chora, on the halfway, we were by the Monastery of the Apocalypse. The Monastery of the Apocalypse is where we have the cave where St. John the Evangelist wrote the Revelation, the last book of the New Testament. We just were there, and on the halfway up here we are in Chora, and now we will go to visit the Monastery of St. John that was built in the year 1088. St. John the Evangelist, he was exiled here to Patmos in the year 95 AD. He stayed in a cave, and in the 11th century they built next to the cave a church, and in the 17th century they built on top of the cave a monastery in the 17th century. But here in Chora we have the Monastery of St. John that was built in the year
Until next week, I look forward to seeing you then. So long for now.